and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to get you interested in a good book, and we're going to get all of Hampton Roads interested and talking about the same good book. So today I have with me the author, Lydia Netzer. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And Angie Sumner from the Suffolk and the Library System.
Yes, great being here.
And this is weird because I've never had, somebody from other than our own library here. But this is a regional program and everybody's working together, right?
It is. We actually have 9 libraries in the region partnered with the Suffolk
9 library systems. So each of us has, lots of libraries. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of participation this year.
How did this come about? Like, what's the genesis of this concept?
Well, last year we had 7 Cities, 1 Book, and that was focused around Fahrenheit 451. This year we wanted to kind of rebrand it in a different direction. We have more than 7 cities now, and we wanted to bring in a local author to kind of bring that home to our residents in the Hampton Roads area.
It's so cool. It's like a giant book club, right?
Yeah.
Where
it's more
like a freshman seminar, where everybody's reading the same book and we're all talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we really wanted to bring the community together. We felt like using this book is one way to do that, and then we're tying the themes of the book into many programs. So it's more than just a book. We're doing Lego clubs and author signings and a lot of other things throughout the month of September.
Okay, well, so let's talk about Lydia like she's not here. How did you decide to pick her book? Like, how did that happen?
Well, one of our librarians had actually met her, I believe at a conference, and heard her speaking and thought she was really engaging and loved the idea of bringing in a local author with a book set in, at least partially in Norfolk. We felt like that would bring more engagement in and really bring things home for people.
It is cool, because honestly, I was like, Googling the book and reading about it and clicked right through and ordered it, and I thought, Fahrenheit 451 I read, like a long time ago, but I wasn't, going to get back into it. But okay. Tell us a little bit about your book, and then I'll explain where I clicked in.
Okay. Well, the book is set in Norfolk, and it's a mom who has been building the perfect life for herself, and her husband is a NASA scientist, and he's on his way to the moon to populate it with robots and create a colony. So while she's having her domestic life at home that she's trying to maintain, as all moms do, I think that absolute perfection that we all know is necessary to raise non-mutated children. And everything very quickly begins to fall apart as the book sets off, and
that's where I'm like, oh, I'm in. Because everybody, it is so hard, and all of us, moms try so hard at work, and we all want to be perfect, straight A student, good little girls, and it always falls apart. In truth, none of us can pull it off. So I'm always engaged with other people and their disasters. It's fun.
Absolutely, and this is kind of like Bad Moms, but with a science angle too.
That sounds like fun, and I don't want you to give anything away, but you mentioned themes of the book. Mm-hmm. So what are the themes that we're going to be studying when I actually do read it? Because I got it, I just didn't get that far.
Well, a big thing I believe is self-discovery. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of space and robotics in there. One thing I really like about the book is it's very visual and it's very real.
And we're going to talk about a lot of the Norfolk connections and some of the Hampton and Peninsula connections with NASA, with the Langley Research Center and Wallops Island Space Facility. And
because we could be colonizing Moon, with or without robots.
We will be colonizing. Yes, we will.
You're seeing this. Okay.
Yeah. But, Norfolk and this region, it is a very interesting place to be. The history is very interesting, and also the future is here. We have a lot of cool science stuff going on. So I feel like this book was written, it's a very personal book, and it's very much about my transition into being a mother and navigating those changes of identity, but it's also about this moment in time in this place. So it's very much of this place and of this moment. So I think that people in the region will be able to relate to it.
And it is it is not necessarily, and I know this is a derogatory term, but chick lit or a book that is just for women. It's got a much broader appeal, you think? We're all women sitting here talking, but.
Yes, I mean, I think there's a rocket to the moon that's in jeopardy, and there are some, but I think women are interested in that too. It's not necessarily
right.
like you want to say, well, this is a science book,
not,
so this is for boys.
Just a love story.
Right. There is a love story. There are lots of what I consider interesting philosophical questions about artificial intelligence and the expansion of humanity into the universe, and just what it is like to be a woman at this time, and with the expectations and pressures that we have, and also the exciting opportunities that we have. So I think there's something for all different kinds of people, and it definitely has multiple storylines running through it. There's a murder, there's some R-rated scenes, so
That sounds so cool. So how do you get people? I mean, book clubs. Okay. Not everybody even reads the book in a book club. Like, they come for the socialization. And I suppose you could do that here. You could come talk about the themes of the book and not have read it. But what does a community gain by having a common platform, a common theme?
Well, the great thing is we have Shine, 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 but we also have a suggested reading list for all ages. So, mom or dad can read Shine, 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 and then their kids can read one of the books from our suggested reading list. So they're all kind of talking about the same themes, robotics or space, self-discovery, so they have something to talk about. And then,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
I hadn't read far enough to get to that part. That's really neat.
Yeah, but we have our suggested reading list, as well as a list of programs that everybody can go to on our website, tidewaterreads.org.
Okay, so tidewaterreads.org is the umbrella
Yes.
group for this. I also, even though she's not here on air, have to put in a plug for Hampton Library or hampton.gov/libraries, and they'll have a calendar of the events here at the main office, at the branches, but places where people can get together and talk about this book or the themes, or as you said, like the Lego Club, but kind of making it all-encompassing. How rare is it that we as a community have something in common to talk about? I mean, I feel like we're so fragmented now and so at polar opposites that having a common discussion point is a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. It's definitely needed, and it's a wonderful opportunity to bring people together.
And it is an interesting moment in communities connecting, where we have social media, where like Tidewater Reads has a Facebook page, all the libraries have their own social media, Tidewater Reads has an Instagram, so in a way there's all kinds of new ways to connect to people and bring people together around these ideas, but actually having this sense of we're all thinking about the same thing and asking the same questions and challenging ourselves in the same ways is really, I think, an interesting thing to do. And I'm going to be doing events in all the different participating cities. So I'll be doing an author event at the libraries where I'll sign books and answer questions and have a little talk about the book and anything that anyone wants to talk about. And there's an art show. There's a wig making contest in Chesapeake. There's Suffolk Art League is having an art show related to themes in the book.
And so maybe that gets us out into the different communities instead of just staying, right here in Hampton.
I think it's an opportunity to be, like one of the librarians said, be a tourist in your own town in a way, where the things that are happening in different areas that you might not normally go to, like Gloucester, maybe you've never been to the Suffolk Art Gallery.
Right.
That's an interesting way to kind of tourist in your own town.
Well, Lydia, how does it feel to you? And I know that these events haven't happened yet, so you might not know how it feels yet, but how is it to be that your book is this focal point for the community?
Well, I think it's exciting. A lot of the events that I've done related to the book over the years that it's been out have been elsewhere. I've been to New York and LA, and I've been to Colorado and Chicago, and having this area really recognize its literary value and the fact that we all are, there's a lot of book people here. There's an extremely strong library system here, and a great literary culture is very cool. You know,
so it doesn't feel like you're like ripped open and exposed, because
yeah.
A lot of authors are you know,
Yes.
kind of introverts, and here, you know, the people you bump into in the grocery store, or that you see at a soccer game or whatever, might be suddenly pulling you in.
Yeah,
And
that's definitely something. I mean, when the book came out,
that's a risk.
It took me 10 years to
Why
write.
don't you hold it up so people can see the cover? Shine, shine, shine.
When the book came out, I had been working on it for 10 years, and sort of scribbling away in my attic
Spare
between,
time.
you know, running to violin lessons and writing lessons, whatever. So when it first came out, it was a very big adjustment to understand. This is a very personal novel. There's stuff in here that I had a lot of trouble getting out, and it is an exposure. It's a huge exposure. But it's very rewarding to have people say to me, you know, my mom died before I read this book, and I really related to that part of it, or I was pregnant when I read it, and I understood her struggles with her identity, or I was away from my husband while I was reading it, and I knew what that was like.
Especially in this community, because there's so many military families that spouse, and it isn't always husband, it can be wife, but where you're effectively a one-parent household for a while.
Yeah. And
without your partner.
Once I kind of got over myself and sort of like, okay, all of my internal organs are now on display. Here I am, all my hopes and fears and failures and, you know, tragedies or whatever. It was a very good thing for me to be able to connect with people about that stuff. And, you know, at this point, several books down the line, I will have no secrets, and I'll just
You'll just be,
yeah.
Well, because, you know, it is fiction, obviously. So what happens is fiction. But fiction can often tell a truth. Like, it's not a true story, but it's a truth.
Right.
And those truths, some of them are probably from your life, from your experience, and very personal.
And those are the things I think that people can relate to. Not necessarily the details of the story,
right, but
the idea underneath it, the emotion underneath it, and that human experience, and being able to, and I think that's our job as writers, is that's the hardest thing, and that's the most important thing, is getting it down. You know, what is it like for me? And inevitably, that's what it's going to be like for somebody else.
Right, and not the whole story, not every piece, but people will find a piece in there that relates to what they had, or that just speaks to them and creates an understanding of something that, you know, they didn't have before. That's what a good book does. And that's why we're all going to talk about this book during the months of September. That gives me a few days to finish it, and I will get on board, because I am very excited about it. What little I've read is wonderful.
Thank
you. And I love the idea of the giant regional book club. How much better could that be? So thank you. Angie, for coming, and thank you, Lydia, for sharing this book.
Thank you so much.
Not just us here, but with everybody out there, and you know, letting us in to your world.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to go to hampton.gov/libraries or to tidewaterreads.org and come to some of these events. Read the book. You can get it and check it out from your libraries, or you can buy your own copy if you want. There's lots of things, and please join the discussion this month. Thanks for watching.